we meet again. Another tier list. You guys have been clamoring for it, banging down the doors of my DMs and my Twitch chat. Gomer, where's the next tier list? I gotta have my fix. You guys are like addicts, you know. Treat tier lists like they're drugs, like your name's Fernando. But we have a lot of new cards here, you know, from the brand new 99 Griffey, who everybody's been holding in high esteem to this point, from the new collection. It's been about 3 weeks. We have a lot of cards to cover. So, what I need you to do is go down to the comment section, tell me some of your favorite budget cards, some of your favorite under-the-radar cards that maybe I'm undervaluing a little bit. And we're going to go S to penny pincher, the usual. Leave a like down below. This took hours upon hours to rank some of these positions, so it would truly mean a lot to me if you could. And let's get it going. But first, let's take a minute and talk about HelloFresh and the fantastic offer they have to offer you with my code POGHF310. HelloFresh is America's #1 meal service, and for good reason. They deliver quality, tasty, and efficient ingredients to your door each and every week. You see here the variety of different meals they have that could accommodate anybody's dietary restrictions or what kind of food they prefer. Cuisines from American to Indian to Chinese. HelloFresh has everything that you could possibly want. My girlfriend started getting them a couple months ago and I've cooked them with her and they were great. They were all easy to make. Most of them take 30 minutes or less, so it will be conducive to your busy lifestyle, and we thoroughly enjoyed the process. So the biggest thing right here is using my code POGHF310. Your first box will be over 50% off with free shipping. As you see right here, you can get 6 2-serving meals for under $50. No strings attached like this is Natalie Portman. This is a great offer. 12 servings of delicious dinners delivered right to your door for under $50, and you can cancel at any point if you choose. So give HelloFresh a try. Use code POGHF310 and get started. Eat healthier today with HelloFresh, and I'm glad to be sponsored by them for this month. There we go, kicking things off with the backstop, the catcher position. S tier to penny pincher. S is the cream of the crop, the best of the best. Who I would recommend if Stubs are not an issue, if you're the Bezos of MLB The Show. And then, you know, we work down. Tier 1, still very great options. Tier 2, Tier 3. And then penny pincher are reserved for, you know, maybe you're just starting the game. Tends to be a lot of free cards or cards that are very cheap and you can obtain of quickly. So, let's quickly get into this one, all right? Mike Napoli still remains the top catcher. The contact he has versus both ways, he breaks down the ever-loving soul of right-handers. Lefties, you know, they might get by with a warning track fly ball. He does lack power there. Defense, I'll be honest, you'll notice a trend here. I don't really care about defense anymore. George Brett, we'll talk about him. I swear to Christ, he's the worst defender in the game. And the sad part is I'm almost not joking. I swear he gets the worst animations, and time again, all he can do is muster blocking the ball, and he can't make the play on anybody faster than like 60 speed. So anybody with, you know, 2 functional legs, they haven't quite hit their midlife crisis, are getting an infield single. So we'll keep that in mind. Diego Cartaya, I think, is very good. He's Napoli if he could defend. It's still a plus if you have something here, but I'm rarely going to let the fielding, you know, go over Napoli when I think he's a significantly better hitter. The new BGO, I want to preface him. He's pretty damn good. And again, secondaries, we're not going to include them. I put players where I think they are most valuable. Sometimes it's like a toss-up. We'll get to like the Ketel Martes, who can play every fucking position. But BGO, I think his value serves more at catcher. Mauer's still really good. He's just not quite as good as these other 4, and he goes for a lot now. You'll notice the new Yadier Molina. I just simply don't think it's a good card. I said what I said about defense. He has no power. He is just barely over 100 contact versus both sides. He's got like 40 speed. And so what are you going to do? A single simulator with Yachty? I love him in real life. I just don't like the cards that he gets. The new Rio Mito, very similar, except, you know, he's Yachty if he had legs. All the future star catchers are still pretty good, as you'll notice right here. Adley Rutschman is not 245. He's actually 100,000. That was an error on my part. But otherwise, there's a lot of great catchers. But the top of the top are going for a bunch. The Napoli shot up in price. There is a stub sale currently going on, so that is affecting prices, inflation in terms of stubs, so that's why everything seems a little higher than normal currently. First baseman, Tome's not on here. I think he's going to be the best, although you can't get him until week 3 of the NFL season, so we're going to have to wait. Frank Thomas I still think is a little bit better than Ortiz, but I think they're pretty much neck and neck. It really depends what handedness you want. The new Votto and the new Morneau are back-to-back. The Euclid at the end of Tier 1 is actually pretty good for the price. Got the new Votto and Morneau, who are very good. They're just worse than Ortiz, and Ortiz is free, so it's tough to really recommend those to anybody, but the Morneau is actually very good. Him and Votto are like the same cards. Makes sense. 2 Canadians, 2 peas in a pod. There's some other good stuff. Again, another thing that I should note, I try my best to make this tier list for everybody. I'm not making this for just 900 plus players. I'm not making this for just the casual all-star warriors. I want this to kind of fit in with everybody. And of course, contact has varying levels of usefulness. You know, a guy who's fine on all-star, like the Griffey, we'll get to him, isn't so much usable on Legend, and you know that's going to be adjusted accordingly throughout this list. A couple guys I want to note here. The Pete Alonso is actually a damn good card. Him and Crone have a lot of live series quirks, which is important, and I definitely make sure to value those as well. The Paul Goldschmidt could be like tier 2 if they actually upgraded him to what he deserves. It's a damn shame what's been happening to him. Also, why is Vlad Jr. never supercharged? He's on like a 25-game hitting streak. Is that no longer impressive? Is that only significant in the month of May? Did they forget supercharged cards exist? Second base. That's kind of what I mean right here. Matt Carpenter has 100 contact compared to Jackie's 125. Now, on Legend, I think Jackie's better, but not everybody. Not most of people watching this are on Legend. Matt Carpenter has pretty much max power, and he's a fan-fucking-tastic second baseman, despite what 67 fielding might have you say. Again, I've never had more issues with a defender than Diamond Defense George Brett. Matt Carpenter makes plays that Brett couldn't conceive. You know, his pine tar stickified hands couldn't possibly even make the plays Carpenter has for me. From my experience, and I've heard very similar from people on my Twitch chat, there's a lot of good 2Bs. The Mookie Betts, he got moved up to tier 1. Actually a very good card, and the contact is starting to, even like on All-Star difficulty, you need higher because pitchers start to have better hit 9. And those are the 2 attributes that, you know, cross paths. The Brian Roberts, I think, is a very good card. I wish his contact left was a little bit better. The buy is still very good. Bill Mazeroski's underrated as shit. So is Jose Altuve. He has like 7 quirks. And he's got like 90s across the board. He's a very good card. Unironically, I know we joke a lot about Luis Ariz. He's very, very good against righties. He's just worthless against lefties. You're either not going to make contact or it's not going to go further than the first baseman. There's a lot of good options. The Jonathan India is a pretty damn good one. Jake Berger is one of my favorite event restriction guys because he mashes lefties, has a great swing, and he's not quite as high as overall as some of the other guys right here. So second baseman, there's a lot of great options. I will say Jackie Robinson. He, of course, we're on a scale from green to red. Green is great value. Red, there's better options for the price. Jackie's in the middle. He's more expensive than other vouchers that you would need for other collections, but he might be worth it because you actually get a card alongside there that could be endgame. He's going to be damn near if you need a solid contact, true and true base hit kind of guy. Here we go at third base. George Brett still better than Riley just by a little bit. It's so damn close, because their hitting attributes are nearly neck and neck. Brett gets the slight edge, but Riley has 7 quirks, and he can play left field at a good, you know, level. He's got like nice amount of speed. 69, if I do believe. Rafael Devers, still, this card is amazing. I like the fact that he's not S tier just shows how stacked third base is. The Ron Santos, like, pretty solid, but, you know, he just doesn't really have a purpose when they gave out 2 free lightning cards like this in, you know, the first 4 or 5 months of the game. Third base is so stacked. Again, it's my point here. There are so many good cards. The Jose Miranda, the Nolan Jones, Gio Urshela. These are very good cards, but they're struggling to hold on at tier 3. That's how fucking crazy third base is right now. The Pujols, remarkably, is still very, very good on most difficulties. The Eddie Escobar, yeah, you know, the new Chris Bryant, the Matt Chapman's pretty solid. You really can't go wrong. You see a lot of zeros right here at tier 3 if you're just starting out. A lot of these cards you can get quickly, and even penny pincher. For Christ's sakes, we have the Nolan Arenado at penny pincher. That is how good third base is right now. But of course, Riley and Devers being free, a lot of you guys probably aren't going to get to using a lot of those cards. Shortstop, this actually nearly gave me hemorrhoids. You wouldn't believe how long I sat sweating in this chair thinking about how to fucking rank these shortstops. I just said the hell with it and put 5 in S tier. And I'll be honest, yeah, I think Volpe and Cruz are like S+, and then the rest are kind of to the side. So Oneil Cruz, out of the box, is 98-93 contact, which I think is not good enough on Legend, but on Hall of Fame, I do think it's fine. If you're a guy who rarely plays Hall of Fame, maybe it's going to be a little bit suspect, but for the average Hall of Fame player, I think he's going to be just fine. He's nearly max power. He's 6'7" as a shortstop, for Christ's sakes. We talk about defense. Volpe's a better defender, but when you're nearly 7 feet tall and you can do the slip and slide Superman dives, he nearly gets to every play, and he's got 99 arm to boot. Volpe's great, but him and Oneil are neck and neck. I do think I'm going to take Oneil for my team, and he's significantly cheaper. Again, an asterisk is what I deem these cards are going to go down to. I think all the Field of Dreams bosses will rest around 35k, and I think the new BR rewards, Volpe and Mussina, are going to be about 175. Noelvi Marte is great, but he's 70k. Dansby Cattell, if you want more budget options. Cattell's still great. He's a switch hitter. The problem is there's just too many lineouts right now, and that's what we're learning more and more. We've realized the reason behind it. That is these contact hitters, when they don't have much power, they have a larger line drive window. So even if your PCI looks like it should be a fly ball, that's not going to happen necessarily. You really have to get under that fucker for that to work. Jorge Polanco, again, is just my screw defense phase once again. I should notice Fernando Tatis Jr. has went up 100,000. I was going to put him in tier 2 because he was supposed to return next week. And now he's not going to return for almost another, you know, turn through the calendar. A big suspension. I honestly can't believe the Passan bomb last night. But he's going to rise even more and more. He's now put out of packs just like Trevor Bauer. Tim Anderson's great. There's a lot of good future star cards here. The Jorge Mateo is a NMS player haven. He's good against both sides. He's got max speed. He can play almost any secondary. He's fantastic. There's so many good shortstops, and a lot of them are cheap. Shortstop is one of the cheaper positions for the really good cards. Not something I can say about this one right here. All the S tier are quite expensive. Juan Soto, Clemente, and Babe Ruth. My S tier did not change, although I really do like Riley Green and Al Kaline. I think they just quite aren't on the level of these three. And Babe Ruth is only 85,000 right now. For a flex or a bench bat, he is insane value. This is probably the cheapest we're ever going to see him. I think it literally is. You need 8 cards, and all 8 Takashi are quick sell right now. So if you have extra stubs, get him. If you need a lefty, if you need a first/outfielder, or even a bench bat, it doesn't get much better than Babe with the contact and swing that he's got. Green, I love a lot. You know, just if he had like a little bit better power, I could put him in an S tier, but Soto's a better hitter, Babe's a better hitter. Franmil, again, is one of the most underrated cards of the game. You wouldn't believe Franmil Reyes would be like a top 6 corner outfielder, but he is. A lot of good ones right here. The new King Griffey Sr. is all right. Again, corner outfield is stacked. The Castellanos is fucking crazy, and he's tier 2, which kind of puts into perspective how things go here. There's a lot of cards that I love, and a lot of these are neck and neck. You know, the span from, I don't know, like Stanton to Castellanos isn't that wide, really, but there's just so many great options, and a lot of them are pretty cheap. From Harper, the Franmil, I like a lot of them. The new Starling Marte is actually pretty good as well. Has a good amount of live series quirks to help him out. Here we go, center field. You don't even see Griffey. I'm blocking him. Yes, I think he's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th best center fielder. That is me being honest, and that's me going through a spectrum of where I think the average player is. Sure, he is not completely unusable on something like All-Star, where the wide majority of people watching and the wide majority of MLB The Show 22 players are. That said, there's so many better cards. The Dominguez, who you got free. It took 5 minutes to grind. A month ago is a significantly better card. Brian Reynolds, who a lot of you guys got free, is a significantly better card. Just based off attributes, let alone his live series quirks. There's so many good ones here. I don't truthfully know him. Collections are always hard to gauge because I don't know how many cards you have. Showzone said 5 mil for McCutcheon. Sure, I'll give it to him. Julio's still great, but I honestly, the more I've played, Cedric Mullins I loved a lot. Reynolds is really good. I haven't used Dominguez, but I've heard great things. The new Bellinger is pretty good. More of an all-star card right there. And center field, you can find some pretty good value. The Austin Martin still kicks ass. Julio Rodriguez. I think we've been undervaluing the 97 Julio. I still think the Home Run Derby's better, but the 97, once you parallel him up, is going to be pretty damn good. Trout at 200K here. It's just tough because he's probably not going to play the rest of the year. He's not going to get inside edge. And out of the box, he is 74 contact right, which that is not playable. I'm sorry, that is not. Nelson Velasquez, if you're just starting, get this card right here. He's so damn good. And a lot of other great center fielders, a lot of new Future Star cards that came out recently. The new Grady is pretty good for 28K. Give it a shot if you are fuzzy, if you're watching this. Starting pitching. This is going to cause some fights in the comment section, I already know. Except Randy. Everybody can be like, yeah. You know, if we're having a little water cooler discussion right here, everybody just nods their head and agrees and says, uh-huh. But otherwise, I think Grayson, Leiter, Bobby Miller, and Zach Greinke. I'm not so confident if I think Greinke's a top 5. I have not used him yet. But Grayson is Verlander from last year. Outlier and velocity is a big thing. The more and more people play, the more and more I've played, I've learned that's such a key component to this year's game. And it's a very important attribute. And Grayson's got a huge differential. Bobby Miller, once you parallel 5 him, which, you know, just start using him more in Conquest, you're going to get there very quickly. Actually, is not bad control, and he's damn good, especially with the outlier again there. Roy Halladay's pretty damn good. I've been using him on Hall of Fame a bit. Espino, I underrated when I first looked at him. Ryan and Mussina are good. I just think they're going to cost too much. Pitchers have never been a position where you really need to spend a shit ton for. And there's a lot of good ones. I love the new Cole Irvin, but he's tier 3. The new Ohtani is pretty solid the more and more I've seen him. And, of course, he brings some hitting, which obviously you can't have because no DH and DD. Penny Pincher, you know, there's the new Max Fried. We have the Jordan Montgomery, who's pretty solid there as well. Jacob deGrom is going to be having inside edge again here, which is going to help out his case if you want to use him. But I don't think he's been too fantastic this year. A lot of great options. Corbin Burns, I love him, but we like to keep it to 5 right here. So let me know what you guys think about the pitchers, of course. Right-handed relievers right here. My S tier, Chad Green, is so damn good, and he is completely free. He was in the program last month, and he is exceptionally good. I think this is the de facto 4. You need these 4 righties on your team, and luckily none of them, I guess Raleigh's 56, but the other 3 aren't expensive at all. Gossage, I've been seeing a lot more Gossage lately. He's pretty good. Kenley's good, but not 400K good. Again, you'll notice prices start to rise here, like C-Check's up to 32,000 right now. There's a lot of good ones. John Duran, Adam Ottavino, 7 and 4K at tier 2, I think are great, solid options for basically free at that point. There's a lot of good ones here. We just haven't seen too many new relievers be released. I'm not sure what their issue is with that, if they just don't want to give out any new relief pitcher cards. Like, we got Street, Munoz, and Presley. Now, I think there was 3 new righty relievers to add to the mix here, so nothing changed a whole bunch. And then here, lefty relievers, about literally nothing's changed. They've released 2 left-handed relievers in the last 2 tier lists we've been doing. 3, I believe. It's been like a month and a half, and they've dropped Soto and Mantiply. Now, Soto's the best lefty there is. Don't get me wrong. And Mantiply, based upon not having many, is going to be the 4th best. But lefty relievers is just such a slow spot. So most people are running Britton, Hader, Soto. But if one of those are too expensive, the Chapman's still very good. Franco's not bad. You just have to know how to pitch with him. Loop is still solid, but his hit 9 is decimated at this point, which is difficult. But there's still some good options here for lefty relievers. A lot of them aren't too expensive. So get Soto. He's easy. And then just kind of pick and choose from there who you want, who you have the stubs for. So that's going to do it. That's the tier list. We went through so many damn players, and that's my thoughts. You know, we'll come back in another few weeks once we have another new program next week, and we'll have another tier list. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Again, make sure code POGHF310 HelloFresh. Get started, get eating healthier, and yeah, thank you guys for watching. Leave a like down below. Hope you guys have a great day. It goes out, eat.